Hi, everyone, and welcome to another fascinating interview here at 360. Today is something special that I know you guys will realize some very special information that she can help you with. So the person today that's joining us, our guest, is Junie Schreiber, and I'm going to read you a brief bio of what she's about, who she is, and then I'm so excited to get right in there. Junie, you're there with us, right?
I'm right here. Thank you.
Yay!
Yay. Hi.
So Junie Schreiber helps people create a life that is passionate, authentic, and fulfilling by teaching them how to turn down the volume on their inner critic, which allows them the freedom to do whatever they dream possible. She is a certified shadow work facilitator, transformational coach, creator of the Mission is Possible transformation program, co-author of the Amazon #1 best-selling book, Journey to Joy, host of the Life Out Loud TV, and producer of the recently released short film, Shed the Shame. Junie helps people step powerfully into their soul purpose with grace and ease, and absolutely adores seeing people embrace their life fully, bringing them better jobs, healthier relationships, and abundance. Please join me in welcoming Junie Schreiber.
Hey, everyone, and hi, Celia. This is so great. I love sharing my work. I love that the dog is all excited, too.
They're barking.
Everybody's in.
She usually is a regular guest star here at 360, but I'd like to join and really dive right in because, you know, so many entrepreneurs that we come across today, and I know you've gone through this, obviously, that's why you're doing this work, but they have the potential, they have the skills, but yet something is preventing them from moving forward. And that being said, it's really, really hard. I mean, we all have these doubts and these talk that goes through our mind, this little chitter chatter that prevents us from expressing our fullest self. So can you take us on a little journey on how you can help someone?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I think most of us wish that it was little chatter because most of the time it's really big chatter and we lose our focus. We get sidetracked and we have lots of different behaviors, sabotaging behaviors that keep us from moving forward in whatever it is. I mean, today we're talking about business, but in our life overall. And then when we have this big chatter and these voices in our head, which we may or may not hear. I mean, it's not like we're going around all the time and having these messages saying, you can't do this and something's wrong with you. And we might hear those voices, but we're feeling it in our bodies and we feel the fear, we sense the doubt, we question our abilities, and it takes us out of the game wherever we're headed. And so we could know all the right things to do. We could study till the cows come home, how to close a sale, how to find a new loved one, how to lose weight, whatever it is. We could know the nuts and bolts of anything in our life. And at the end of the day, if unconsciously, which is a lot of what I'm talking about, my eyes are tearing, I'm sorry. This is so moving to me. Must be allergies. So we have this vision of what we want, and it might matter to us in a big, big way, and we might want to build our business and amp up the numbers and close our sales and build our team, whatever it is. But if inside unconsciously there's some old programming, is what I would say, some experiences in our life that have shaped us, mostly from childhood, that have us question our ability, have us scared on some level that if we actually really follow through, something bad's going to happen. It's not a conscious thing. It's an unconscious thing. And so once we shine the light on what that is and why we have this fear, why we're procrastinating, why we're not really manifesting the fullness of our life, then we can start to dive in, change it, and really take bolder action. So it really is about lowering the volume of the chitter chatter, not necessarily getting rid of it, but being able to go, oh, there it is, and that's okay to allow it to come in, that's okay, but to not allow it to take us out of the game, to sidetrack us. So that's the work I do. Tell me, would you like me to kind of go a little bit deeper into?
Sure. As a matter of fact, something that you touched upon that I believe, I've come across a lot of people that have this work that they talk about working on your inner game. Yep. And as we know, it's so important to continue to work on your inner game to help you move forward in your life's work, how you show up and all of that. But what's really interesting is a lot of people are suggesting, and I'm so happy that you said clearly that you do not. It's not a matter of just shutting it off and ignoring it and pretending it's not there. Because I have to tell you, that's a lie. It's there. It's very real. People are feeling it. They're hearing it. And it is something that's preventing them from being their best self.
Yep.
So I'm so happy you mentioned that it's not about pretending that it's not there.
Yes. In fact, once you could actually connect to it, be aware of it, you could actually make it an ally. You could actually get that inner critic, which is why I'm called the inner critic tamer, to tame it, to work with you, to do the tricks, to do the tricks and jump through the hoops that you need it to jump through. You know, you don't want the lion to devour you and not allow you to show up. But if you can tame it and have it work with you, then quite a show you might have. And so there's the aspect of being able to tune into what the thoughts are and to allow them to come in, to work with them, to figure out how to work with them, which I have an ebook. We'll talk about it later. And so anyone that stays to the end, you'll have access to it for free. And so to be able to not only access and understand this inner critic, but how to actually retrain it. And once you're allowing yourself to hear it, to feel it, then things change. And the other thing, what's really cool is it's there for a reason. And a really awesome reason.
Talk about that for a moment. I really want you to highlight it. I've never thought about it as it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
We always come across that it's something, well, I would say that it's something hindering, something negative. It's preventing me from being my best self. But after reading your ebook, which I'm going to highly suggest everybody read it, please talk to that for a moment.
Yeah, life-changing. Life-changing. We beat ourselves up a lot for the things that we don't do, or the things that we want to do and we go, oh, I can't believe I didn't call that person back, or I can't believe I didn't close that sale, or I really thought I would make this amount of money by this, at the end of this quarter, and then we go, damn, I did it again. I lost track, or I fell short, and then we hate ourselves, and we really can rake ourselves over the coals. And then we hate that part. And I talk about parts because by pulling it apart, we kind of can discern what's really going on. So we hate that part that made us do that had us feel inadequate. But why is it there? So that part, if it's a little strange because it's like we've hated it, but what if we actually can see that it has value? What if that part is actually there to protect you? What if that part is actually there to make sure the shit doesn't hit the fan? What if that part came online at a very young age because some shit did hit the fan, and inside we thought, on some unconscious level, I'm scared, I'm not safe. Little kids, when things are happening, parents yelling, teachers embarrassing us, kids saying things, whatever it is, suddenly we're learning, this isn't a safe place. We need to figure out how to survive. And we pick up these strategies. And one of the strategies is this part that says, don't do that. You don't have what it takes. Because if we hear that message, we don't have what it takes, we might be more apt to not move forward. That part comes online to keep us from taking chances that could cause us harm. And when we were kids, that was a really good choice because we didn't have the tools and we didn't have the ability to discern or reach out for support. But as adults, that's still running. And so we have this inner critic that's still saying, don't do this, you suck, you don't have what it takes, you need more degrees, whatever it is. And so here we are learning all these things and we want to build our business, and it's saying no, 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 no. But what if the reason it's saying no, 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 no is because it really is trying to make sure we're okay? So once that part understands that we're older, and this is all like taking the unconscious to the conscious, once that part understands truly that we're adults, that we have more skills, we have more support, and we start dancing with that part, we get to have a relationship with that part could then start trusting that the risks aren't so great anymore. And then when that part does show up and says, you know, I don't know if you're ready, I think this is not a good idea, and you start to feel the fear, which happens sometimes. Like right before I talk to, you know, a couple hundred people, sometimes I start to have like, you know, the butterflies in my stomach, which sometimes is great and exciting, but sometimes it's like, rah, rah, rah. And I go, whoa, I got this, you know? I literally in my head now will just be like, you know, I have tools to be able to ground and go, wait a second. This part is trying to prepare me. Do I have it all done? You know, am I organized? You know, am I ready to step out and be seen and not have the risks? So that's a reminder now. Instead of like this big loud voice in my head, it's just kind of poking me now saying, you sure? You know, I'm not so sure you're ready. And then I can go, well, let me look. No, I've got this. In fact, I'm really prepared. Take a back seat, mister. You know, relax. And then it's there as a support team to just help me cover the bases, but not have me so in my fear that when I step out and talk to people, I can't even think straight because I'm in the audience, not in my body.
I love what you said. It is so important, and I just like to reiterate, because so many times we think about the chatter, the voice that's inside of us, and we think that it's there as, again, something negative. But based on what you're saying, if I understand it correctly, it can actually be something there as something positive, that it was trying to protect you from whatever you had experienced in the past. It was there telling you, hold on a second, wait, don't do this, based on where you were. So it's almost as if you have to reintroduce yourself and let you say to name it, to actually give it some type of a name. So, you know, we call it, I was thinking about it, and I said, okay, I'm going to call my chit chatter the alien. So,
you know what, you got choppy there. What did you call your inner chatter?
My inner chatter, I'm calling the alien.
Ah, the alien. Ooh. Okay.
I know, it was so foreign to me. Change it, but now it's something very much a part of protecting me. It very much was a part of trying to prevent me from doing harm to myself. Mm-hmm. So it's almost now as if, based on what you're saying, you have to take the alien and reintroduce it to the new you, that I'm okay, I'm not that same person. I now have more skills. I now have what I need. I've matured to be able to do this.
Yep.
Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it's sort of like a computer. We need to update the software. You know, there's been some programming, and you know, we've all had our life experiences that shaped us, and we made unconscious decisions, some conscious decisions as a child, of what's allowed in life and what's not allowed, what's safe, what's not safe. You know, when I was younger, I was bullied a lot. From 9 years old on, I was bullied a lot. So I learned, well, I was born with this, you know, big bubbly personality, which I have back now. But by the time I was in high school, I couldn't even raise my hand in class because I was so scared of being seen. And I didn't consciously say, don't raise your hand in class because you'll get bullied. But as soon as I even thought I was going to answer a question, my heart would beat. I'd start sweating. I thought I was going to pass out, the terror, and then I wouldn't do it. Inside, that part was going, you don't know it, you're going to be embarrassed, you know, don't do it. I didn't hear those voices. I just felt the terror. So we've all had these experiences when we were younger where we laid down some foundation. Our brain got mapped. You know, and there's a lot of science out there to show this. And so once we start and this is just a drop in the bucket, this is where we start, to start listening, to start feeling, to allow ourselves to connect to what we're feeling and to know that there's value there, that it's not so scary, because that's sort of what's happening is by not looking at the monster, underneath the covers, it's like, what's under the bed? All right, I'm not going to look under the bed, but man, I'm so scared. It's time to look under the bed, because whatever's under the bed is keeping us under the covers. We don't want to go out. We don't want to have our life. It's time to, get on our big girl panties and big boy panties and say, all right, I'm an adult. I need to see what's going on, and I need to heal, because I have a lot of gifts and I really want to rock it in my life. And that's what this is about. It's time.
This is just great because, you shared your story that you were bullied. Mm-hmm. And I was not bullied, but I definitely now see that in actuality, the teachers that I've had throughout elementary school technically did bully me because they labeled me that I wasn't as smart as my older sister. So I always had teachers on a rotating basis. She was in the A class, I was in the B class, and they kept saying, I don't understand why you're not as smart as your sister. And that after a while I said, well, if you already think I'm not, well, guess what? I'm going to live up to the label, so why should I bother working? And it carried me, and I'm realizing, what? In essence, these teachers did bully me and label me because going into school, I hated it. I hated it so badly that I had that fear inside my stomach and the tremors. And I know that it did affect me because that did initially prevent me from taking on anything that had to do with an academic role, or acknowledging that I can do something and I am worthwhile and I deserve it just as much as anybody else. But until you come to terms with that, and like I said, first step is the awareness and the acknowledgement, but then to kind of say, wait a second, that may have worked in the past, we're here now, this is not working, we need to have a conversation. So you're almost having a conversation with yourself, saying, I'm here, I'm ready, got everything I need, the support-wise. Let's even maybe embrace that inner critic and say, let's get this, we could do this together. Let's just join forces and watch the next chapter together go forward.
There's a lot you said in there that I want to address. Firstly, what happened with you and your sister. You could have gone both ways, and I actually think you have, because I know you. We've had a couple of conversations. You, on some level, said, well, I'm not going to, even try because this is what you're expecting. The flip side of the coin is overshooting to show that you're worthwhile, that you have what it takes. I mean, when I met you, you told me all of these accomplishments, all the things you've done, and you could list them if you'd like. I mean, Celia, you've done a lot in your lifetime. And so sometimes what happens, and everybody that's watching, think about this for yourself, how do you show up in life? So I'll use myself for an example. So, I got, you got the message that, you're not as good as your sister on some level. So you could either prove you are better, so I'm going to overshoot and do great things the best I can, and just, who knows what, I'm not going to stop until I can prove it, or, well, I'm going to prove it, and I'm, by showing that you're right, and I'm not even going to try because it's too hard to try, I've already been sentenced. So same for me, I got the message that I was too big, too bright, so, and something was wrong with me by being so bubbly. And so I shut down on one hand, but on the other hand, when I did have opportunities, as time went on, I overshot and became too bright, too big, too bold. And everybody, well, not everybody, but people around me were like, whoa, tone it down, because I overshot my energy because I so wanted to be enough. I wanted to be okay. I wanted to be, I didn't want to feel like something was wrong with me. And I wanted to prove it that I'm worth loving and accepting. So, this is sort of how we tweeze it apart. And we're talking intellectually here, which is the next thing I want to say, which is, we're thinking this through. Celia, are you still there? Celia, are you still there? I'm not sure if I lost you. I'm going to keep talking because I still see we're live, but I don't see Celia. So hopefully you guys can hear me if you're here. That, you know, we can think our way through and, you know, think, okay, we can try better. We can do things differently. Celia, you there? You there? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you now at all.
Yeah,
oh, there you are. There you are. Okay.
Okay.
So,
sorry, I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just kept talking. So, you know, intellectually, we could say, okay, this is what happens, and I'm going to, you know, befriend my inner critic, and I'm going to make different choices in my life, and I understand all this. And this, as you said, is the first step, being aware that something's not working, and then looking at it. And then that's the beginning. And then the next step is the personal growth work, which is where you dive in and actually change the wiring, which is, you know, more of the advanced work, you know, when I work one-on-one with people. But just noticing the wiring of, oh, okay, this is what happens. My sister, the teachers, I got this message, and this is how I'm showing up in my life. This is how I want to show up in my life. Just that can be life-changing.
Absolutely. I know that you said that, you know, there's obviously different levels of work that you do. You know, we're just really basic, scratching the surface. But let's even just take a step back. Maybe somebody is not even aware. How could you help them become aware? Like, what are the signs that it may be possible that their inner critic is preventing them from moving forward?
Good question. Well, first of all, you know, big spectrum. You know, we're all at different places on the spectrum of personal development and what we know and what we don't know. That's what's beautiful about the body of work that I've been trained in, called shadow work, and Tony Robbins' work. You know, I combine the two. And so when I start to work with somebody, I'm the one that has the flashlight. You know, they only know what they know. And so my job is, you know, with the different tools that I have and different exercises, that I'm able to shine a light on the things that they may not see yet, in a safe way, in a step-by-step way. And so somebody that may not hear the messages, we look at what's going on in their life. I mean, everybody that's watching right now can think of one thing in their life that is not optimal, that they're not showing up fully for, whether it's their relationship, their health, their kids, their work. There's something of behavior, maybe overreacting, maybe, you know, anger flares, maybe sadness, maybe procrastination, whatever it is, that there are different behaviors that are showing up. And that's where we start. Well, what's the behavior? Okay, so if we have a behavior we want to change, then we say, well, what is it that you want? We always start with, what do you want? What is it you want for yourself? How do you want to be? What's the impact you want to have on the people around you, your life, you know, your work? And then we see what's getting in the way. And once we could figure out what's getting in the way, that's when we could start finding out the messages, finding out the unconscious beliefs that are shaping us, that are running the show. And once we can put a light on that, then we can dive in and change those messages. And it's not like rah-rah, I'm going to just do affirmations and put stuff on my refrigerator and just do my vision boards and it'll all go away. It helps. That helps. But that's 10% of our brain, the conscious part of our brain. 90% of it's unconscious. So when I work with people one-on-one, there's the opportunity to shine a light on the unconscious with all the tools that I've picked up, and things change. It's really cool. It's really exciting. But what I was saying is, you know, there's a big difference between conscious and unconscious and our choices. And we can do affirmations till the cows come home, and we can put up our vision boards as much as we want. It will make a difference. It'll help us focus. It might even make us feel better and be able to do things that we may not be able to do typically. But it's short-lived because 90% of our brain is unconscious. And until we can shine a light on those old belief systems and change them, they pop out. They pop out as reactions. They pop out as bad behaviors. And so we need to start with what people want, what are the behaviors that are getting in the way, And then we start to pull apart, well, what are the belief systems? Why are we like that? Why do we stop ourselves? And once we can understand the mapping, that's when, in shadow work, we have specially designed processes to take back our power, to take back our voice, to own our vision, to be able to set boundaries, to be able to see things that we normally don't see and have way more choice. So that's the journey.
Wow. It's so interesting to know that this is done on such a subconscious level, that we have old belief systems and perceptions that have taken us, could be possibly from childhood and carrying us through. So how would somebody know that that's actually occurring?
Well, again, I'm not sure when I said what I said, but
Okay.
just look at your life. Everybody look at your life. Where is something not optimal? Where are you overreacting? Where are you overly sensitive? And I mean overly. We give emotions a bad rap. It's fine to feel sad. It's fine to feel angry. It's great that you feel your fear. But is it overshooting? Are you screaming? Are you self-hating? Are you terrified of speaking in public? I mean, anything that's getting in your way is a clue, a really big clue that something's in shadow, that some part of you is pushed away and is coming out sideways. And when you're not in your optimal place, if you're finding yourself going, oh, I'm so surprised I said that, that's so not me, or oh my gosh, I blew off, blew the, how do you say that, your handle off? Anyway, if you blow your top, how we go, blow your top, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed and I just got so angry, it's like, what's that about? That's an old wound. That's something from the past. My belief system, of course, and what I know. If we're coming from a centered, grounded place and we have access to all of our emotions, all of our energy in a healthy way, then we could set clear boundaries if we feel angry. We could feel the fear and act anyway. We could feel the sadness and drop into our hearts and not be in bed for weeks and months from depression. It's about choice and action and connection to really the healthy being that we are. It's gotten a little messed up from the past. So how are we? What's happening that's not the way we want it to be? Or how are we showing up in ways that are just not in alignment with what we believe our truth is? Mm-hmm. That's a clue that something needs to heal. And it's almost always from the past. Well, it's always from the past, but how far back is the question? Usually from childhood.
And then you could help them take that and move forward and live a productive life and create new belief systems that actually support what their values are and really whatever their goals are.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, it's not just, okay, I have a belief system that I'm not good enough, so I'm just going to keep telling myself I'm good enough, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. Don't we wish that would work,
No. It's actually, my daughter says it. She says, Mom, that's actually just fake. It's just pretense, and it doesn't work because your mind is smarter than that.
Yeah. And, there's something to be said about fake it till you make it. It helps you maybe get in, Tony Robbins' work, and there's a lot about Tony, but there's one tool where you could actually get into a state of yes, and I can do it, and get excited, and that could very well shape your performance and your conversation. But there's so much more. The unconscious is going to creep out and affect you throughout your life until it's addressed. So yeah, we need to look at that. And it was a thought I had that I can't find it. Oh well, it's around here. It's around here somewhere.
You mentioned the work of Tony Robbins, and I actually went to, and I'm talking about, I guess like 15, 12 years ago, to one of Tony Robbins' seminars, and actually, was a part of him bringing us into what he calls a peak state.
Yep.
And then he has the whole audience run outside, and we go do the firework.
Yep.
The fire walk. And as we're doing that walk, you're in this state that you can do anything. And the truth is, we did.
Yep.
But how
How
long is it sustainable afterwards?
Exactly. So, and I did that too. It's called Unleash the Power Within. It's an awesome weekend. I highly recommend it. It's all over the world. So just for an example, let's just say you're going to do a lecture for 45 minutes and you're in front of, 50 people and you do that peak state, you're ready to go. It could really get you ready to go and you're all excited. And then someone in the audience throws a curveball. And maybe you're in your peak state, but underneath, there's a part that's going, uh-oh, I may not know this. Uh-oh, there you are. See, you weren't prepared. And that could throw you. So it's a yes and. Yes, there are these tools to really empower you and act as if and really get you psyched. And yeah, Tony's stuff is awesome. And he does do a lot of the unconscious stuff. I do want to say that. A lot of people don't know that. He does a lot of the unconscious stuff.
I have to tell you, I've carried some things. I've been lucky enough to carry some things, some golden nuggets that I've applied into my life. So that goes without saying.
Yep.
But it's the general thought process of being in that state or saying these daily affirmations that I'm beginning to realize is just not enough. It could work, yes. Does it help sustain on a certain surface level? Absolutely. Because I know that if I sat there every day and telling myself that I can do this, I've got this, I'm the best salesperson, I am going to be eating healthy, I'm a healthy eater, I'm a runner, whatever it is, you consistently tell yourself that, it does have an impact, but I think on a surface level.
It does impact, and it does change.
I think it gets you started.
Yep.
But I think the work that you're talking about is going more on the deeper level, digging a little more to help really bring out the truth of who you are.
How great do we want it? Do we want to have a drop in the bucket and be okay and status quo? Or do we want to live fully, magically, magnificently? When we were little, we didn't say when we were growing up, oh, I can't wait to be mediocre and just get by and live an okay life and, work a lot and just, enjoy the best I can. I mean, that's not what we thought, we had big dreams. So there, the opportunity is to get access to the fullness of who we are. And we've got wicked tools inside of us. And when we start to access our energy, we feel more empowered, but we feel more energized. I know what I was going to say. And that is, it doesn't even have to take so long. Somebody wrote a testimonial the other day. I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. It just blew me away. Somebody wrote that, a relatively new client, and she said, what she's been trying to do for 7 years in therapy, in 7 sessions, she's like, new life, new world. It's an accelerant, this work. So it's not this like, painful drudgery. Oh my God, I've got to look at my past. We do, but then we move forward and it's like, whoa, I can't believe how great I feel. I can't believe how I rocked it. I can't believe how inspired I am to take my business to the next level. Now, not only do I know how to do it, with the nuts and bolts of great business coaching, but now I'm feeling excited about my life and I'm managing my life from the inside so that the inside and the outside come together and look out world. I mean, don't you want that? I know I do.
I think yes, the answer is, I don't even have to think. The answer is yes.
Right.
Yes, and more yes. And I want that for everybody here at 360 listening to this interview and our guests that are here. It's just so important. I think that your message has to go out to everybody because we all carry something within us. So let's just take it apart, go through it, enjoy the process, and look forward to being the more energized life. I love it. We weren't kids. Kids do not do anything mediocre. Let's face it.
Full blast.
Kids,
no censoring.
This is who I am. This is how I show up. And, basically to that. I am who I am. And I don't know, somewhere along the way we've lost that. But here you are giving everybody a chance to have that again.
Yep.
Have that again. Junie, thank you so much. I can go on and on. We've had many conversations, but I'm just so intrigued, and I really want your message to go out there and help other people live their fullest expression of who they are and give them back the joy and the happiness So how can people get in touch with you? And you were gracious enough to give us a hint of a little gift that you're giving our viewers also.
Absolutely.
So let us know what that is.
Yes, absolutely. So it's an ebook, and I'm so proud of it. I spent some good time on it to really not only give information, but to it's almost more like a workbook to guide people into understanding their inner critic and actually begin a relationship with their inner critic. And it's called How to Tame Your Inner Critic, 10 Powerful Steps to Unleash Your Soul Purpose. So whatever that is, whether, I say soul purpose, we're talking business, whatever you want, let's tame that inner critic. And to grab it for free, they can go to tinyurl.com/tameitnow. I'm going to just write it in the chat box there. Okay. So it's tinyurl.com/tameitnow. Did I do that right? Yes. So people can go there and grab it. At the end of it, once you do the process and the journey, I invite you into a conversation with me if you'd like. I would love to hear how it went for you. If you have any questions. And my website is innercritictamer.com. See the theme there, guys? So innercritictamer.com, and the ebook is at tinyurl.com/tameitnow. And we all deserve to live fully, and the world needs you. The world needs our gifts. There's no one like you, and if we can just melt off the crap we've picked up along the way and honor the stuff we picked up along the way, because let's be real, we've picked up strategies for survival so that we don't get hurt. But now we need to bring up our software up to speed and know that we're much safer, and that we've got support in ways that we didn't have when we were kids, and life can be different.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here with us, for helping us go on this journey just on this alone. I'm going to ask everyone to re-listen to this amazing video and contact Junie Schreiber and take the step to your own discoveries and enjoy the process. And she's an amazing woman. And I definitely encourage all of you to have that conversation. And thank you so much for being giving us that gift of that ebook. That was very nice of you and kind. And I myself, I happen to like it, by the way, that it wasn't just talking, that there was exercises and work towards it.
Yep.
And I like that format very much. I can tell you put a lot of work into it.
Oh, I'm glad. I get ebooks all the time, and I'm reading so much stuff all the time, and I sometimes just kind of end up going, well, now what? And I know they want me to buy their program and upgrade. It's like I really, and I have a lot to offer too after the ebook, but I want people to start healing. I want people to have an experience, and so it was really important to me to invite people into a process. So the first thing when people sign up is they get something in their email saying, make sure you have time to do this, download it, get a journal, and be active, because that's, we can think it, we can read it, but then if we do it, we have an experience. Very different.
I like that. Taking action helps you have the experience. Thank you again, Junie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know we went a little bit over, but it was just so much information, and I love the energy that we have, Junie and I. We wanted to bring you something special today. Thank you very much, and have a great day. We look forward to seeing you again here at 360.
Thanks, Celia.
Bye, Junie. Thank you.
Bye.